In this lesson, we are going to create feature vector column required for model training input. A feature vector column is a vector containing multiple elements about an object. Since machine learning understands numbers, this feature vector provides a numerical representation of the data to an ML algorithm for processing. This column can accept inputs as numeric, boolean or vector. So let's understand logically how this column is created. So we have our data set. So the first step to do is to identify features in this data set. We have in total 6 columns, out of which drug is the column for which we are trying to train our model. So rest 5 are features in the data set. The next step is to identify which variable is of which type. Now it can either be continuous, category or discrete. Continuous variables are those numeric variables which have an infinite number of values between any two values. So in our data, NA to K contains data like that. So it's a continuous variable. Category variables are those which contains a finite number of categories on distinct groups. And it's not necessary for those values to have a logical order. These have labels rather than numbers. So in our data, sex, BP, cholesterol contain values like that. So these are category variables. Then we have discrete. Discrete variables are those numeric variables that have a countable number of values between any two values. So in our data, age is a discrete variable as its integer value have finite number values which can be expressed in years. So now we have divided our variables in respective types. For continuous and discrete, we don't need to do any additional step and they can be accepted as it is by feature vector input. But for category values, which are label values, we need to convert those labels data into numeric index and vector so that it can be accepted as an input by feature vector. So when we do that, that process is also called label encoding, wherein each value is assigned a unique numeric index. So for example, for each category variable, the unique label values will be assigned a label index. Now these label index are also accepted as an input, but since these values does not have a natural order, we do one more step over this, that is one hot encoding. One hot encoding maps a categorical feature which is represented as label index to a binary vector with at most a single value indicating the presence of a specific feature value among the set of all values. So for each category index, when we will do one hot encoding, that value will generate a binary vector like these, wherein all these value will be converted to a sparse binary vector and can be represented in this encoded value. Finally, with all this, we can now create the feature vector column. How that column is going to look like? If we take an example of a row where we have age as 43, sex as male, blood pressure as low, cholesterol as normal and Na to K as 19.368. So this all data will be combined into a single column that will be a feature vector column and will be represented by that vector value together. So let's see in practical how to create this column in our data set. So back to our notebook, we are going to create a feature vector column now. So I will just add a comment to split this step from the previous one. Creating feature vector column on training dataset. Okay, now we are going to view data once more. Now in this, as we have already covered for age and for Na to K, we don't need to do any additional steps before we pass these columns as an input to feature vector method. Now for the rest of these 3 columns, we need to do 2 steps. One is we need to convert these label values into index and then we convert those index into a binary vector. Okay, so let's do the first step. we will convert these label values to index. For that we will import a Spark method string indexer. So the method is now imported. Now what we can do is, first we are going to see how this method works. Okay, so let's take one column as an example. Declare a variable. In this method, provide input column as BP and provide output column as BP underscore index, the column in which you want the index. Okay, then what we are going to do is one output data frame which will fit this values on our training data set and transform the results for us. Okay, now you can see that for blood pressure value high, the one index is provided, that is 0. For blood pressure value normal, an index 2 is allocated, and for blood pressure value low, an index 1 is allocated. Okay, so it has converted the label values to index. If I try this for another column, cholesterol, okay, so similarly for cholesterol, normal is allocated 1, high is allocated 0. Okay, and if we try for the last column, okay, so female is assigned 1 and male is assigned 0. So with this we can convert all our category labels into category indexes. There is one more thing which we need to know about this method is, this method also supports if you want to customize how the index allocation is being done. Okay, right now this is by default. Okay, but if you want to customize the indexes which are allocated to respective label values, then we can do that as well. For that, it provides you another additional parameter. That parameter is string order type. Okay, so in that parameter you can pass 4 inputs. Okay, these inputs are alphabet ascending, alphabet descending, frequency ascending and frequency descending. Okay, now how this helps, let me do this, take this in below. Okay, so this was our default. Okay, this was our default. We were not passing any order type, and we were getting, for female we were getting index 1 and for male we were getting index 0. Let's say I pass alphabet descending or alphabet ascending as a string order type. So if I run this, now you can see from, if you compare this from above, here your female had index value 1, okay, and male had index value 0. Now when we specified a string order type, then your female value became 0 and your male value became in index 1. Okay, the reason for that is we have given that the string order type should be alphabet ascending. Okay, similarly we have 2 more options, that is frequency ascending and frequency descending. So in case you want to assign index in the ways that whichever label value has the highest number of population in your data, that gets the maximum first index, then you use frequency descending. Similarly, you can use frequency ascending. So in our demonstration, we are going to go by default without using this parameter. but this is a good parameter to know and use if you have that specific use case. There is one more useful parameter in string indexer method. That parameter is handle invalid. Okay, this parameter is there to handle null or unseen data. It provides you three options to handle it. One option is skip, one option is keep, and one option is error. When we use skip, it filters out rows with invalid data. When we use error, it throws an error when it finds an invalid data. And when we use keep, it will put the invalid data into a special bucket. That is, it will create an extra index indicating that this invalid values are added into this. Okay. By default, if we don't specify this parameter, it is always to error. Okay. So in case you need to use these before specifying your index values or converting them, then you can use this. For our use case, we are going to go with default, where we simply provide the input columns and output columns. So what we are going to do is, now we are going to convert all three columns to label indices in our data. So we don't need to do it one by one or specify the train data frame again and again. What we can do is, we can specify all these columns together in a parameter input calls. Okay, previously we were using input call because we were just trying to understand how it is converting. So this takes only a single column at a time, but input calls can take multiple column at a time. Okay, so what we are going to do is, let's create a list input columns. Okay, similarly, let's create a list for output columns. We can copy this and okay. So in input columns, we can specify in calls list, and for output columns, we can specify output list. Okay, then in the training data frame itself, I can fit this and I can transform this, and then I can view data. Okay, so now all three category columns are now converted to label indexes via string indexer method. Okay, now we are going to convert these index values into one hot encoded values. Okay, to do that, first we will import the one hot encoder method. So PySpark.ml.feature import one hot encoder. It's imported. Now before we convert all these columns and populate the final data set, what we can do is first try to understand what this library is going to do. So let's take one column, for example. Okay, provide it as an input call and specify a output column, which will be the one hot encoded value. Okay, then fit this on our training data set and transform. Okay, then we can see the data to understand it. And we can add distinct to avoid repeated values, and do a show. So now these index values are converted to one hot encoded values. So one hot encoded has converted this index into a binary sparse vector. The point to note here and something to observe here is that in this mapping from index to the sparse vector, you will see that you are not seeing all categories. One category seems to be dropped. Why this is the case is the default nature of one hot encoder in Spark is that it will drop the last category, and this is done to avoid the scenarios in modeling where two or more variables are highly correlated, and that can lead to multicollinearity problems. So if you don't want that to happen, what you can do is you can provide an additional parameter to your one hot encoder method. That parameter is drop last equals to false. By default, this is always true. So if I run this, then you will see that it has not dropped the last category. So that depends on modeling preferences. The default nature of one hot encoder is to drop it. In case you want to keep it, you can specify the parameter drop last as false. Now there is one more parameter which I would like to highlight here is that handle invalid. Similar to string indexer, this is there to handle invalid and unseen data. In one hot encoding, this has only two options, that is keep and error. If you choose keep, then it will keep the invalid data into an additional category bucket. If you will choose error, then it will give you error when such data is encountered. The default nature of this is error. Okay. So for our use case, I am not going to use this, and I am going to go with default one hot encoder properties. That is, we are going to specify only input and output columns, which will drop the last category. So this is how one hot encoder method works. Now let's convert all our index columns to one hot encoding. Okay. For that, what we can do is we can again define input calls list. Okay. And specify all the index columns. Similarly, we can create an output columns list. These will be the output columns of one hot encoder. Okay, now let's create the object. This time I am going to call the parameter input calls. So for understanding, we were using input call, but since we are passing multiple columns, we will use input calls, and we will specify this list. Similarly, I can specify output calls and specify the output columns I want. Then I am going to fit this and transform it. Okay, now let's see our data. So as you can see, all the index columns are now converted to one hot encoded values. Okay, for each index value. So we had initially labels. We converted those labels to index, then we converted those index to one hot encoded values. Now we can go ahead and create a feature vector column. For that, we are going to import the vector assembler method. Okay, so from PySpark.ml.feature import vector assembler. Okay, now Now in this, for our vector assembler, inputs will be all our feature column. Okay, so let's understand what inputs we are going to pass. Let me delete this first. If I talk about my train df columns at this moment, so I have age, then I have my category variables, and I have NA to K, I have my target variables, then I have category indexes and category one hot encoding. So for vector assembler inputs, my columns will be age, okay. Then for category variable 6, I will be using only one hot encoded. So we are not going to pass all the transformation variable as inputs. The final input will be one hot encoded values. So this will be the one. Then similarly for blood pressure, okay. Then similarly for cholesterol, okay. And finally Na to K. So drug is not our feature variable, so we will not be passing that. So these are final input columns which will go to vector assembler. So I will specify input calls equals to calls, and my output column will be one single column, that will be features column. Okay, that will be one single vector combining the data of all these column values of that specific row. Okay, run this. So now my object is created. Now I am going to transform my data set. So train feature df will be equal to assembler dot transform, and this was our final data frame. Okay, now let's view the data. See, this features column is created and it is a vector. To see it in better, let's select this only. Okay, so this is how the feature column look like. So this is not still fully visible. So what I can do is, I can, instead of show, I can do a collect. Okay, now you can see it fully for each row. So see this. Okay, so now you can see the full value in the feature column. So you can see that all the columns data is combined into a single feature vector. Okay, and this is how that data looks like. So with this, we have created the feature vector column, which will be used as an input in model training in the next lesson.